All right, the story, part two of the story. So after selling the Ducati, kind of missed it. My daughter loved it, and I loved it too. You know, it's a V twin. It's for 748, so it's not like the biggest powerful motor, but it was quite nice. The torque was there. It was just a fun motorcycle to ride around, and it corners very well, and it's light. So is the Aprilia. It's light too, 2000. And but anyway, so sold it. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, really missed it a lot. You know, it goes by. I'm like, oh, Ducati, my Ducati. It was because I put so much time and effort into putting a Land Rover together to make, to buy a Ducati. And now it's gone. I missed it, and I looked around in all the forums. I would ask people if anybody seen a yellow on all the Ducati meetups and all. If anybody's seen a yellow Ferrari, yellow Ducati that doesn't with anyway, with the seat had a Ducati 748 patch on it and all, and nobody's seen it. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 4 years go by. 4 years. And one day I'm on Facebook, just sitting there. So I find out there's like somebody locally around like 40 miles from me. There's a gentleman that passed away, and they needed the money for a funeral, and they found he didn't have insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, and he had a heart attack and he passed. And he had a couple of Ducatis that are just sitting there, just collecting, not running, and just beat up. One's yellow, one's red. That's all I hear. And it was on Facebook, and the family had a GoFundMe page going. This was like a year ago. No, like 8 months ago. And so I'm like, you know what? Yellow Ducati right there, right? So I'm thinking maybe it's mine, maybe it's not. So then I tried to contact the person. He gave me another contact to the widow's sister, and yeah. So I ended up contacting her. She sent me a few pictures. Then I asked her if it had the carbon fiber cover on top of the gas tank that goes all the way from the key area all the way down to the seat, the front passenger driver's, the front seat. And she said she doesn't know. Then she sent me a picture and kind of figured, yeah, that was the bike. And then I told her about the little scratch on the upper fairing, headlight fairing. It's not on there. So, and she sent me a picture, and she said the gentleman that bought it passed away, never rode the bike, maybe rode it around the block a couple times, and Ducati was his motorcycle that he's always wanted since 94 when it came out. He couldn't afford it, and now that he's got a family and he's able to, afford it, and long story. And he bought it from a kid that apparently I sold the motorcycle to a kid, probably 22, 23. And he sold it to him, and he owned it now. And he didn't winterize it. He drained all the fuel. She doesn't know what his plans were, and he drained all the fuel and let the bike sit. Like that from 2013 or 14. She doesn't really know. So she said it's been sitting for a few years. So I said I'll go look at it. This was last year. No, 2015, I think, or 2016 December, around June, and I got busy with work and all, and didn't see it. Then I got another email randomly in January 2017 saying, hey, you're still interested in the bikes? It's still sitting in the garage, and if I wanted to go see it, I could go see it. And I ended up, one day I made an appointment, and on a Sunday after church, I went by, looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is my bike. So kind of overpaid about $2,000 more than the bike was worth. Those rats living in the airbox, and those rat poop everywhere, droppings under the seat. I lifted the seat up, rat droppings everywhere. So I figured, or wiring's all chewed through probably. So there was some confusion with the pricing, and I paid him before I even picked up the bike. So I paid him, more, because they needed the money too. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not hurting, but they are. So somebody passed away and they don't have insurance, blah, blah, blah. Long story. And they have family, mortgage, kids. And so it was not a big deal. So I ended up paying them. And a week later, when I picked up the motorcycle, brought it home. and I took all the fairings off. It was kind of just beat up. It just wasn't taken care of again. So the fairings were all scratched up. I think he dropped it in the garage, or it was leaned up against something, and fairings were pretty scratched up. So it took off all the fairings. Only thing I have left of the yellow is the airbox that's hanging right there. And everything else I had a shop painted red, fire red. Like I wanted not like light pinkish red, but dark red. And they did fire red. Came out pretty nice. The color doesn't, it's not perfect, but it's, you know, for what I paid for the paint job, it came out pretty nice. And all the fairings are painted. Some are inside. I didn't want to bring it out yet because I got to put what do you call that? Decals on. Waiting for the decals to come in. And so yeah, so I didn't do an oil change yet. Filled it up with some old oil that I had, not used oil, fresh oil. Added a little more, and then pulled the spark plugs out, put new spark plugs in. What else? Completely took everything apart, all the way up to the stacks, and cleaned everything. And the throttle cables were sticking, so pretty much cleaned everything up. And didn't do anything major. Didn't do the timing belt or anything yet. I gotta do it. Probably I'm gonna get it all started, and probably in spring I'll do it before I start riding. So looked at the bells. They look decent, but they're just old. They're like sitting for 4 years now, and so then I got it all painted. I put most of the stuff together. Fuel tank. Took the fuel tank out, fuel pump, checked the fuel pump, put a brand new fuel pump in before I sold it. So it's pretty much still a brand new fuel pump. It didn't have any gas in it anyway. And cycled it, it worked. Fuel filters clean. I put a new the O-ring gasket, and put some fresh fuel in, and it started today. Started earlier today, and let it run for about, let's say, about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Wrapped it up. So it runs, it rides. Didn't ride it. It revs, so I had it on a stand, so I put it in gear, went through all the gears, so it goes through all the gears and all, and it idles just nice. And yeah, so I'm going to put it back together. Now it's going to be red, and I'm going to get it all decals put on, and yeah, so that's how I ended up getting the motorcycle sold back. So I guess this bike is supposed to be with me. I'm going to keep it now. And that's my story. Same tires. These were the tires I sold the motorcycle with. Those are my old track tires, 190 and 120 Pilot. Michelin Pilot. Michelin Power. Yeah, Michelin Power. Probably Pilot, but older tire, like 3-4 years old. So probably ride around the block a few times, and I gotta put new tires on after I do the timing belt in spring. Yeah. This is my Ducati story. Next video, part 3.